10 days to go. We have just a week and a half left. Early voting started this morning. We started on Staten Island. Thank you. We started on Staten Island. We went up to Rockland. We're here in Queens. We're going to finish up with a big rally tonight in Suffolk. We have a special guest coming in. This guy, Ron DeSantis from Florida. Wow, I love this site. These are a whole lot of New Yorkers ready to take control of your destiny as New Yorkers. It's time for us to be able to restore balance up in Albany. You know, we want to be able to say that we live in the greatest state and the greatest country in the history of the world, but when we're talking to other people in our lives, and they live in other states, they can scratch their head a little bit and say, well, I read that New York leads the entire country in out-migration. So how are you able to convince me that you live in the greatest state in the entire country when more people are leaving your state than any other state? Right. We have an opportunity to turn this around. But right now, we have a person who's sitting in the governor's seat who doesn't even understand why it is that we lead the entire country in population loss. You can't ever expect it to get fixed. The reason why that New York leads the entire nation in population loss is because Albany is attacking our wallets, our safety, our freedom, the quality of our kids' education. The person who's in charge right now was not elected governor of the state of New York. She was elected the lieutenant governor, and she's serving the remainder of someone else's term. Now, it's important to stay grounded and understand that reality. But she walks around like she's like an emperor governor. She's running for a 14th term. By the way, there was a great chant yesterday. We were in Rochester, and they broke out with a "Pack her up" chant. I loved it. She has been, pack her up, 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 pack her up. Pack it out. You know, listen. She has said to me that because she disagrees with my views, that she declares that I am no longer a New Yorker. But when she says that I'm not a New Yorker because of my views, she's saying that millions of New Yorkers aren't actually New Yorkers. In that same speech, she said that I must get on a bus and move to Florida because of my views. But when she says that I need to get on a bus and move to Florida because of my views, she's talking to millions of New Yorkers. When we were at our debate a few days ago, and I gave her every opportunity to be able to talk about the most important part of holding a criminal responsible for their actions. The part where they owe a debt to society, you prosecute that criminal for doing something bad, because we went through the entire crime part of the conversation and she wasn't talking about putting handcuffs on criminals. And her response to that point was saying that she doesn't understand why this is so important to me. When she says that she doesn't understand why this is so important to me, she's saying that she doesn't understand why this is so important to all of us. We want safety on our streets. Yes, we do. We want these pro-criminal laws like cashless bail to be rolled back. We want our district attorneys to prosecute and enforce the law. And we unapologetically back our men and women in blue. We are not here because of belonging to a particular party. This is about Republicans and Democrats and independents, all uniting because we want to save this city. We want to save this state. And we know we have an opportunity to get that done in a week and a half, in 10 days, when you are all going to sleep on election night after the polls close and the results are in. You will be going to sleep with a big smile, having just heard a concession speech from Kathy Hochul. Now, a couple Sundays ago, I was on an interview where they asked me, what do I want to accomplish in the first 100 days? And I responded by saying, actually, what I think the most about is what can I accomplish in the first 100 minutes? Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot. And the first thing that I am going to do after I am sworn into office is notifying the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg that he is being fired for his refusal to enforce the law. Now, there is a crime emergency in this state. Now, Kathy Hochul may not want to talk about it. She's talking as if we should just look away. There's nothing to see here as it relates to crime. We see the videos, the pictures. We've heard the stories. Sometimes the stories are with people in our own lives. Heck, I had a gang-related drive-by shooting in front of my house a few weekends ago. We're not going to look away. And this isn't a perception issue. It's happening every single day. New Yorkers changing their behavior. Maybe they're not riding the subway anymore. Maybe if they are riding the subway, the hours that they ride the subway have changed. Maybe they're Jewish and taking off their yarmulke. Maybe they are Sikh and they're taking off their turban. Maybe it's a woman who used to be able to ride okay, but is now grabbing a pole or a guardrail because she's afraid of being pushed in front of an oncoming subway car. These are the stories that I hear every day. And I also hear from people who tell me, Lee, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I've always voted Democrat, but this year I'm voting for you. Yeah! Woo! I hear from people who tell me, Lee, if you don't win, I'm leaving.
Me too. Right.
And I'll tell you that it's the one thing that comes to my mind as soon as I hear that is that this isn't about whether or not I win. This is about whether or not we win.
Yeah.
This is bigger than me. This is bigger than any one person. This is about all of us doing everything in our power with what is just a week and a half away, an opportunity to restore balance and common sense up in Albany. There have been times through the years where maybe we were just, hopefully maybe years away. Maybe in 2 years we'll have an opportunity to turn things around. And what happens is 2 years later, it comes and goes, and you still have the same people. You still have that lack of balance. Right here, as we stand here today, we are just 10 days away from your opportunity to take back control of your government again, to reverse those attacks on safety and wallets and freedom and the quality of our kids' education, whatever it is that has you talking about your breaking point in New York. Now is an opportunity to fight for it. There is a crime emergency here in this state right now. And if Kathy Hochul will not declare it, if the state legislature right now will not come to the table to fix it, we will make the state legislature come to the table. On day one, as soon as we are sworn into office, we will declare a crime emergency here in the state of New York. And that means with all these pro-criminal laws that have been passed, from cashless bail, to raise the age, to less is more, to the HALT Act, the discovery law changes, On day one, we are going to suspend these laws and make the state legislature come to the table to work on a fix. And by the way, this shouldn't even be viewed as a Republican versus Democrat issue.
No.
Regardless of however you view different people who are in office right now, the reality is, and follow me, this was so crazy to me when it happened. So the mayor of the city of New York called on Albany to give judges discretion to weigh dangerousness in overhauling cashless bail and amending raise the age. These are two changes that I agree with. So when Mayor Adams says that Albany should give judges discretion to weigh dangerousness, Danny O'Donnell, who is Rosie's brother, by the way, who is a white Manhattan liberal Democrat assemblyman, went on social media and said that dangerousness is code for black. Went after Eric Adams, suggesting that the reason why Eric Adams was calling for judges to have discretion was that the black mayor was racist. Think about that. By the way, it's not just that you all are getting stonewalled in Albany. They come after you personally. They're coming after your values. We don't want to be ruled by an emperor governor. We want to be in charge of our own government. And our message to Kathy Hochul is that